Exercise 9.2. Complete the table. So first row. So all the measurements are given to us in meters. So what will be the volume? 2 into 2 into 1. So 2 into 2, that is 4. 4 into 1, that is 4. So that means what is the volume? 4 cubic meters. Right? We have to convert this amount into what? Liters. So what do we have to do? 4, we have to multiply that by 1000. So we get what? 4000. So this should be what? 4000 liters. Right, so these are the two spaces that we need to fill. So here what do we have? Length, width and height all are given to us in what? Meters. So 2 into 1.5, that is 3. 3 into 1, that is again 3. So 3 cubic meters. So that means what? 3000 liters. Right, so these are the two spaces that we need to fill. Okay, so next we have length, height and width, right? So here what do we get? 0.5 cubic meters. And what will be the value in liters? 500 liters. So these are the two spaces that we need to fill. Okay, so in the next row, length and width is given to us. We have to find the height. And also the volume is given to us in cubic meters. We need to convert this into liters. So this will be what? 8000 liters. So what will be the height? 4 into 1 into height. This should be equals to what? 8. So h is what? 8 divided by 4, which will be 2. So the height is 2 meters. Okay, so these are the two spaces that we need to fill. Right, so in the next row, we have been given the volume in liters. So 9000 liters means 9 cubic meters. So we need to find the height. So we have been given width and height. So if we take the length as simple L, L into 1.5 into 3, that is equal to what? 9. So L is equal to what? 9 divided by 1.5 into 3. 3 into 1, 3 into 3. Right? So 3 into 1, 3 into 0.5. So that means what? 1 divided by 0.5. That means 10 divided by 5, which is 2. So here, what is the length? 2 meters. So these are the two spaces that we need to fill. Okay, so here we know the volume in cubic meters, 1.5. That means in liters it will be what? 1500 liters. Okay, 1.5 we have to multiply that by 1000. Now here we need to find the width now. Both of these are what? Ones. When we multiply all three terms, that means length, width and height, it should equal to what? 1.5. Two values are each 1. Then the remaining value should be what? 1.5. So these are the two spaces that we need to fill. Question number 2. The length, width and depth of a swimming pool are 50 meters, 25 meters and 3 meters respectively. Okay, so here I have considered the depth as 3 meters. Part 1. Find the capacity of the swimming pool. So what do we have to do? Length into width into height. Right, so 25 into 3, what is that? 75. 75 into 50. 75 into 50. So that means 75 into 50, we can write 5 into 10. So 375 multiplied by that by 10. So we get what? 3750. So this is equal to 3750. So these are cubic meters. Part 2. If the swimming pool is filled with water up to a height of 1.2 meters, what is the volume of water in the swimming pool in liters? So at the moment, the water is filled up to what? 1.2 meters. Right? So we have to find the volume. That means what? 50 into 25 into 1.2. Okay? 50 means what? 5 into 10 into 25 into 1.2. So this should be 1500 cubic meters. how much more water is required to fill the swimming pool completely? The entire depth of the swimming pool is what? 3 meters. At the moment, the water is filled up to 1.2 meters. What is the difference? That means 3 minus 1.2, what do we get? 1.8. That means this is the difference. Or else, if we put water up to another 1.8 meters, the swimming pool will be what? Filled. So what do we have to do? We have to calculate the volume considering the depth as 1.8 of the pool. So 50 into 25 into 1.8. So that means when we multiply these values, what do we get? 2250 cubic meters. That's the answer. Question number 3. What do we have? A Bowser of capacity 6.5 cubic meters is filled completely with oil. The Bowser is supposed to distribute 850 liters of oil each to 8 filling stations. Is the oil in the Bowser sufficient for all 8 filling stations? Give reasons for your answer. Right. What is the capacity of the Bowser? 6.5 cubic meters. This Bowser needs to fill filling stations. So each filling station, this Bowser needs to distribute what? 850 liters of fuel. So what is the total amount to 8 filling stations? 850, we need to multiply that by 8, no? So we get 6,800 liters. So that is the total amount. So what is the capacity of the Bowser? 6.5 cubic meters. That means 6,500 liters, no? So it is not enough. Why? 6,800 is greater than 6,500, right? So that means the amount is what? Not enough. So what you have to do is, first of all, you have to write the capacity of the Bowser in liters. You have to convert it into liters. Here we have cubic meters, here we have liters. Then you have to find what is the total amount required to fill 8 filling stations. It will be what? 6,800 liters. Then you have to show this inequality. So it would be better if you use the liters also. So 6,800 liters is greater than 6,500 liters. Right? So therefore, you have to say, because of that, right, the amount of fuel is not enough. So you have to write it in words. Question number 4. A person requires on average 150 liters of water daily. If a cuboid shaped tank of length 1.5 meters, width 1 meters and height 1 meters is completely filled with water, for how many people in total will this quantity of water be sufficient for a day? Right, so we will calculate the volume of the tank, right? Volume of tank. So that means 1.5 into 1 into 1, no? So we get what? 1.5 cubic meters. That means 1,500 liters. One person uses 150 liters per day. So for 1,500 liters, how many people can use it? How do we find it? 1,500, we have to divide it by what? 150. So what do we get? 10. So this value will be what? 10 people. Huh? Question number 5. The length of an interior side of a cube-shaped tank is 1 meter. The tank is completely filled with water when a tap from which the water in the tank is discharged is open. Water flows out from the tank at a constant rate of 50 liters per minute. Determine how long after the tap is open the tank becomes empty if the water flows out at this constant rate. Okay, so what do we have? We have a tank with the shape of a cube with side length 1 meter. Right? So what is the volume of the tank? 1 into 1 into 1, no? So 1 cubic meter, that means 1000 liters, right? So now a tap has been opened, so water is currently flowing out from the tank at a constant rate of 50 liters per minute, right? So what do we have to do? 1000, that is the volume of water. So water is flowing out from the tap at a constant rate of 50. So what do we have to do? 1000 we have to divide by 50. So I can cancel off this 1 0 to this 0. 5 into 1, 5 into 20. So 20 minutes. That means if the tap stays open for 20 minutes, the tank will be emptied within 20 minutes. Right, miscellaneous questions. Question number 1. The capacity of a large drink bottle is 1.5 liters. It is expected to serve a quantity of 150 milliliters of this drink in small glasses to each of the guests at a party. If there are 225 guests at the party, find the minimum number of large drink bottles needed to serve all the guests. Okay, so first of all, we can find out what is the amount of drink that is needed, no? So we have the number of guests, which is 225. So they are being served using a cup which has a volume of what? 150. So we can find the volume needed, or we can say drink. So we can find drink amount needed. So we have 225 guests. So each guest is served a cup of 150 milliliters. So 225 into 150. So 225 into 15, what do we get? 3375. When we multiply that by 10, we get what? 33,750. So this value will be what? 33,750. These are milliliters. This is the amount required, amount of drink that is needed. Then how many bottles? 33,750 we need to divide by what? So the volume of one bottle is, one large bottle is what? 1.5 liters, that means 1500 milliliters. So in order to find the amount of large bottles needed, we need to divide this amount by what? 1500. Why? Both are these in what? Milliliters. So when we divide this, we get what? 22.5. But when we think about the question, practically we can't get 22.5 bottles. We can get either 22 bottles or 23 bottles. If we get 22 bottles, the amount will be what? Less. Right? අපිට ඕන ප්‍රමාණය මදි වෙනවා. So the only solution is what? We need to buy 23 bottles. Right? So here, what will be the answer? 23 bottles. Question number 2. Household storage tanks of capacity 500 liters, 1000 liters and 2000 liters are available for sale. The head of a family of 5 members intends to buy one of these tanks to store water for their household use. If each family member requires a minimum of 150 liters per day and 200 liters of water is required each day for other household chores, determine which tank best suits his requirements if the head of the family intends to fill the tank only once a day. So we have 5 family members, right? So here it is mentioned, if each family member requires a maximum of 150 liters per day. So each person requires a maximum of 150 liters per day. So that means one person needs a maximum of 150 liters per day. So for 5 people, what is that? 5 into 150. So it will be 750 liters. That means family members needs 750 liters per day, right? And another thing, so for household requirements, right? So we need another 200. So what will be the total amount? Total amount of water is what? 750. To that we have to add 200, no? So we get 950 liters. What are the options that we have regarding the capacities of the tanks? 500, 1000 and 2000. So we can easily buy what? The 1000 liter one. 500 liter one is not enough, right? 2000 liter one, that is more than enough, right? More than enough in the sense we need 950. So buying a 2000 liter one is not suitable for this situation, right? So what's the most suitable option? The 1000 liter one.